You asked me to talk a little bit about myself. These are the things that I care about. And I didn't mean to go backwards. But for the most part, I was not an AB student. I never opened a book throughout high school. Never did. Marginalized. Obviously, when I got to college, I had some challenges. But I can't imagine what my life would have been like had I did it the right way the first time. But those 3 principles sustained me and put me back on track, whereas I later would go back to college at 30 and finish. And do it the right way. I spent 5 years working for the Small Business Administration, writing loans, disaster loans, a job that I absolutely hated. Hated money, but I hated my job. I later joined FEMA, which allowed me an amazing opportunity to travel around the United States. I spent 2 years in New Orleans working for Hurricane Katrina, putting roads and infrastructure back together, putting people's lives back together. I would later go on to lead the External Affairs Division at the BP oil spill, Hurricane Sandy. When the Haiti earthquake occurred, I had the wonderful yet unfortunate responsibility of getting casualties back to the United States from Haiti. I say all of that to you to say that none of those things matter, though, unless we're doing things that really touch the lives of people every single day. And so now I get to do a job that I would do for free at the Capitol, working with your governor to make laws. Some of them good laws, some of them very, very bad laws. And we'll get an opportunity to talk about that here on the panel this morning. I just want you to know that I am so grateful to be here. I get a lot of invitations to a lot of things that are meaningless and insignificant. And I am so excited. When I walked in the room and heard Sergio speak, when I saw the presentation, I knew that this is where I was supposed to be this morning. So I'm so grateful. Thank you.
Our next panelist is Mr. Jonathan Harris. He's going to talk to us as a panelist. His topic, is unemployment and minimum wage. Mr. Harris represents Black Men with Initiative. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I'm happy to be here. There was a team of us that was supposed to be here. As you know, APS is going through a transition, and the majority of my team is Atlanta Public Schools parent liaisons and also important staff with APS, so they're out supporting the new superintendent that was picked as the finalist. So I do apologize for their absence. Black Men with an Initiative is an organization among Black men that was started in 2009. What we do is we go around to different colleges. We have a West Georgia chapter and we have a Fort Valley State chapter of young men that decided they wanted to encourage other young men like yourselves that are sitting in this room today. So what they do is they take a charge and they partnership with Boys and Girls Clubs in West Georgia and Fort Valley to mentor and to groom you and to prepare you for the college life. I stand as the COO of a national organization. It's been in effect for 2009. I have a great pleasure of sitting among some great panelists that you will hear from today. You just heard from State Representative Ms. Waits. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you, Ms. Perry, your presentation of some information that I did not know. And everyone that's out here today, we appreciate you for coming out. I'm going to cover for David Payne that was supposed to be here. I do apologize for his absence, but I will try to cover his topic as best as I know how. And there's no stupid questions, so please feel free to ask any questions that you need to ask me, and I look forward to being here today with you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, John. And I just want to mention that it's not that his organization and those that are members that were going to be here are not here by choice. I believe that some of them are at Morehouse with My Brother's Keeper initiative that the White House had started. Some of them are there today for that, and then the others are with the not sure yet, superintendent for the board for the Atlanta Public Schools, going around to schools and working with them, so that's why they're not here. Our next person that we want to introduce, and we have talked with Ms. Perry, and we will have her come back again a little bit to speak about her students at Georgia Piedmont College and some of the other things that she's doing. But I'd like to call up Mr. Markel Russell Gates. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I know it's early, but I think we can do a little bit better than that. Well, let's try it again. I like somebody just came and gave you $1 million check or a blank check, and you just write out whatever you want to write out. So let's try it again. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you. So first and foremost, please give it back to Ms. Rita Harding. Please. And I just love the name of the organization, Community Advocates in Action. Because a lot of people talk about it, right? But Ms. Harding actually is in action. So I love it, and I definitely would rather be nowhere else in the world right now but right here and sharing with you all. I'm Mark Boyle Russell, and I'm from right here in Atlanta, Georgia. And just like my brother Sergio, I grew up in an environment where I saw some things growing up that you shouldn't see. You know, so I kind of went down another route, started getting in trouble at a very young age, and dropped out of high school, getting in trouble, kind of just went that route. But now, fast forward, because we've been blessed to be connected with some mentors, I'm actually the CEO and founder of Global Wealth Firm, which is a personal and business development consulting firm. And we focus on showing people how to create success from the inside out, from a mental standpoint and a financial standpoint. And we also have an organization called I Am Breaking the Cycle. Basically, people always think young black men. People told me when I was growing up, well, a young black man, at 25, you're either going to be dead or in jail. Anybody heard anything like that before? But the devil is a lie, right? Because I'm 29 now. I'm 29 and I'm standing here before you, so we know that's false. So my passion is sharing that with other people, talking about personal development, wealth creation, entrepreneurship, and that's what I'm going to be talking about here on the panel as well. So I'm excited to be here, and God bless you all. Want to bring up now Mr. DeAndre Pickett. Mr. Pickett is a candidate for Fulton County Public Schools. As we all know, the primaries are coming up in May, so we're getting geared up for it. Mr. Pickett.
Good morning. He did say it right when we come up here, we feed off of you. So let's try that one more time. Good morning. Thank you so much. First and foremost, I want to start off by stating that you may see me dressed down. Well, one, I'm dressed down because I was given directions to dress down. So, young people, because you don't see me dressed up, and I want you to be very clear, sometimes when you're not dressed up, you may think that people may not take you seriously because you're not in a suit, or you're not dressed up in a business attire. But you do notice that I am not dressed up, I am dressed down, but you notice that my pants aren't sagging. You notice I have a belt on, I have a t-shirt under my regular shirt, and I still look presentable. You can have swag and still be professional. That's right. You can still look cool and look the part and still be able to speak articulately. I can look swag and still understand that I have a bachelor's degree and a master's degree and a specialist degree and we'll have a doctorate May 23rd and still look the part. Okay. Now, one of my colleagues on the panel, we keep laughing about the fact that me and one of my colleagues keep showing the love to each other. There's something that one of my colleagues did say about herself that I want to make sure I let you all know. This is about Georgia Representative Keisha Waits. Keisha Waits is not someone who just talks. This is someone who has consistently walked and stood on the issue that people are scared to stand on. Amen. And those are the type of people that we need to stand up for us. You want to talk about standing your ground? I don't need a gun to stand my ground. I need someone with a mouthpiece who's going to stand for us and make sure we get the message. And Keisha has been doing that in whatever capacity she's been in, whatever position she's run for, whatever stage she's took, she's always kept the same thing. And I appreciate someone saying the same thing. We have a lot of people who, once they get in, they switch their stories. They forget what they ran on. They forget about the principles that they stood on when they ran. And that's actually the type of program I'm not trying to run. As Ms. Rita said, I am running for Fulton County Board of Education. I'm in a good position to be the youngest person ever elected to the Fulton County Board of Education and the youngest person right now to serve any type of elected office in South Fulton County. On the flip side of that, becoming only the second African American male to ever serve on the Fulton County Board of Education. Let me tell you, I love that. But let me tell you my concern with that. African Americans weren't allowed to join the Board of Education until 1963. We make up at least 90% of South, 95% of South Fulton. We represent 78% of Fulton County. We have one person of color sitting in the Board of Education right now. We've had only 3 people of color to ever sit on a district that 95% of our people sit in the area. We have, no offense to my other side of my hand, colored people. That was a nice way of putting that. But you cannot tell me about me if you don't know me. You can't tell me about us if you don't understand the struggle that us had to go through. You cannot tell us about the educational system for the young black male if you are a young black male, a part of the system that denies you the rights that other people have.
Come on, nigga.
You cannot tell us that we are the next generation if you were told that you are nothing better than bagging groceries or being at a supermarket to be able to push someone's basket. You cannot tell me about the educational system when you had all the amenities to yourself. So what we're doing in Fulton County is we're doing what we call the I Am South Fulton campaign. We're getting people engaged and involved to let you know, take back your community. Let people know that we are doing great things in South Fulton. But we have to make sure that we let people know what's going on in our communities. So as we have these discussions, as they stated, please ask us the questions. Get us engaged, get us involved. We have more, I've heard and I've got more wisdom out of the individuals I've heard today than I have seen any other place ever in big conferences and functions. You have great people right here getting good information. So please ask the questions and please do not walk away here ignorant to things that we should know. But people are scared to give us the information too. So we look forward to speaking with you, and please ask those questions. Thank you so much for your time.
We'll call up now Ms. Sharon Hill. Ms. Sharon Hill with Public Eye Relations.
Good afternoon.
Good morning.
Okay. Good morning, afternoon. Blessings to everyone, and championing your efforts. That's what we're here for. Encouraging your efforts and supporting your efforts. I am Sharon J. Hill. I am the owner of Public Eye Relations, Images and Issues. Connecting globally, that and all we can share. Information and education, for we are our brother's keepers. And before President Obama had that, I've been saying that on that tagline on my radio show, television show, for the past 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. So we're glad that everyone is caught up now and that you have always been doing the work. That's really what we're here for. What you see are workers, and you're workers, because you're here right now working. I pass out sheets because we don't stop working. No, that's not what time it is. Our time is now. Who knows what this year is? 2014, and what does it commemorate? An anniversary of something within this year. One of the most important events, the signing of the Civil Rights Act, July 7th, 1964. This is our year, 50 years. We right now need to declare and decree that in 2063, if we're still living, if our generations are still here, they will not be doing this, because there will be another fight. It's been fought before. Why are we fighting it again? But that's okay. Forget that question. We begin again this year. Are we with me?
Yes.
Okay. So what we need to do is proclaim that this year, 2014, that we're going to vote like it's 1964.
Amen.
1964. Let's see. You know that phrase, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired? We say it all the time, don't we? I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. Who knows where that came from? Thank you. I am from Canton, Mississippi, the city of life, as well, the home of the Canton Spirituals, but also Mississippi. My homegirl heroine, Fannie Lou Hamer, presented to the 1964 Democratic National Convention after she had been detained for registering people to vote. You know what they did? They took a busload of people. This is Freedom Summer. That's another thing. Freedom Summer. And that means, wait a minute, I need somebody else to tell me, what does it mean? Freedom Summer, the Freedom Riders. That's right, all the way through. Registering people to vote. So, as we finish this, there are things that I need you to note, because you recall what you write down, and begin that when you come to a workshop, seminar, whatever, have some little piece of paper, you know, the little notepads or whatever. That's why I passed out the paper, because there are things that you want to take and you want to give, because we are our sisters and brothers keepers, and that's how we do that, sharing it. So I'm going to actually be appealing to you for real action, and that means, what are you going to do? There's more to come, and I look for you on the streets. I am Sharon J. Hill.
I want to start now with questions. As we've already heard, Ms. Hill will be covering the Affordable Care Act, the Medicaid expansion. Mr. Pickett will be talking about higher learning and education and financing. Ms. Perry will be talking about why you should not drop out of school or college. Mr. Markel Russell Gates will be talking about the idea of being able to be an entrepreneur, understanding the financial ins and outs of things. Mr. Jonathan Harris will be talking about unemployment and minimum wage, and Ms. Keisha Wade will cover the Stand Your Ground and a little bit about that gun control, I believe. And before they all do, I just want to make this statement that, you know, for me with the Stand Your Ground and the gun control, what we have now, what we're looking at here in Georgia, guns in schools, guns in churches, guns in restaurants and bars. And as I said on my show, you know, it doesn't take much for someone, anyone, to say, well, why'd you shoot him? Well, and they say, well, you know, and this is in a bar. I drank too much. I was drunk, but I had enough. So they shot him. He looked like he was going to come after me. Or, why'd you shoot him at the church? Well, I guess he was filled with the Holy Ghost. What are we talking about here? So it's a very, very thin line. It's very, very dangerous. I believe it's very dangerous, this law. But here it is. So hopefully we can be careful and we can continue to educate ourselves on how this law is going to directly affect us.
Give yourself a hand. Come on, man. Real man. Come on. We got to wake up. We got to tell them. You know, we get the downstairs when we eat, right? We just want to lay it down or play games. Today we ain't playing no game. We speaking the truth about our youth and voting. So all let's go hand in hand together. So I'm expressing three things to you today about Tarshian Peter. I soldier for three types of words. The first soldier was the street. I was a soldier in the street for 37 years, gang banging for 37 years out of South Central Company. I was the lead, I was the boss, I was the caller, I was it. Whatever you want to do, I was there. That was the first soldier I did. The second soldier in the military, United States Army, for 21 years, retired. I soldiered for them on the battlefield. And the last but not least, and the most important of my life is soldier for God. We have to understand how our principle of life is going and where we belong in this purpose of life with the will of the Lord. So by me saying all of this to say to you is that me formed Gang Breaker because of my ex-gang member. This is something that I've seen around the globe. This is not just in Georgia. I'm in California, Chicago, and now I just came out of Portland last week, setting it up in Portland, Oregon. I'm going where the gangs are in because I can speak the lingo. I know all the bosses around the globe, from Latin Kings, like Mr. Cedro was speaking on, MS-13s. This is one that y'all don't know about, the PB-13s. See, that's a branch off from the MS-13. So we got to understand how these gangs formulate. It started with guys like y'all right here, that this gentleman got y'all, and he got you right where the time he need to get you, right now. This is it. Because if he didn't get you, you'd be doing something real stupid right now. And ain't nothing better than doing something stupid than being stupid. So I'm so happy that I can see it in my eyesight and see that God have a mission for each individual in this room to come together as a worldwide community for one common cause and according as one. You got to have the first panel we had, you had a lot of education on the political side. That's on the political side of the aspect. That's on the system. But see, they were speaking about the judicial system, how the law passed, how the law come forth. This panel right here is set up on a couple of ministers, as well as eloquent men, as well as men who have a care for our youth. This panel now. Me personally, I'm focused on the youth and the behavior. You don't have to be a bad youth. You have to be a disruptive youth, but you have to also be a youth ready to change. This is called transformation. This is the time that we are in. God went down in the wilderness for 40 years. On the 41 year, he came out of there. So you take 14 in reverse, that's 41. So it's our time to get double what he said he can give us in our portion. And the only way we can get that by being around people who care about people like y'all, kids like y'all, children like y'all, young men, as well as young women like y'all. The parents that sit behind y'all, it shows the parents care about your welfare, where you're going, and how we're going to do it. So I'm standing up today for all the youth around the world, all around the globe, for can't speak, scared to speak, afraid to speak. I speak on 3 topics, but I'll let you know that as we get into this program. But my focus today is to let you know where I came from. In 2007, I was shot dead 5 times in the streets. When you're dead, you ain't got no more passion, you ain't got no more thought, you ain't got nothing. But I'm gonna let you know today that when you're dead, man, all you leave behind is a lot of suffering people, worried people, concerned people, loved ones. All they can do is look at the picture. And all they can say, I wish I could have done more. Well, I'm here today to tell you we're gonna do more because I'm not letting you go to these streets. If I see you out here doing something wrong, I'll stop and tell you. If you sagging, I tell you put them pants up. Because in the prison system, pinnacle, when you sag, it happens. It happens. I've been in prison. I've been in the hardest prison in the system, that's St. Quentin. That's in California. If anybody know anything about that, that's the hardest prison system in the whole United States of America. Ain't no more prison system harder than that right there. And for you to come out of there as a man, went in as a boy, come out as a man, that means you survived your way. You survived it. Like Ms. Sherman said, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. But she spoke on like the slogans of prison. Yeah, that's my home. Get out of the way, let me go in my home. Because see, that's what you're gonna make it your home. Get out of the way, let me go in my hood. Because why? That's my hood. Move me and my roommate. Why? Because that's who you're sharing with. You don't share with 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. You're sharing with 6 or 7 or 8 men in 4-bunk room. So what you do is like a system, priority system. If I was first one in, I'm getting that bump. If somebody come in bigger than you and you got like a little quack in you, you're on the floor. It's just that simple. I'm a solid person. Anybody know me out here in Georgia, around the world, they tell you I'm very real to it because I got to give you the reality. I can't give you no superficial. I ain't wearing no mask, no persona. This is me. This is who I am. This is what I was. But today, I'm a minister. I minister to gang members in Macon State Prison, all type of gang members from different walk of life. I speak 3 different languages, so you cannot get nothing past me. I'm on it. I'm on top of it. And I'm just so excited just to be up here. I'm just happy, okay? I'm happy. So are you happy? I'm happy. Are you happy? I'm happy. This is what we got to convey as a unit, as a nucleus. We got to quit saying I'm doing this and doing that, and we building something and your kids get stuck right there and you can't go no more. No, we can't do that no more. If I get you by the roots, I'm going to take you as far as I can take you. But you better believe me, though. I got a backup plan when I get done with you. Somebody that's going to bring you on through. And I just got a little connection today that's going to just fit perfect. It fit perfect for my organization. Because I'm in the streets at night. I deal with different gang levels. The worst gangs in Georgia is MS-13, and they all up in Gwinnett County. That's the heaviest gang in Georgia. Solid gang in Georgia, period. Anything on the south side out here, we man-made. But the police classify you 300 group as a gang. That's the classification of the penal code. That's the penal code. So we got to understand how these things work and how we can balance our life with the society that we live in without using our tongue as in a destructive way. We use that as a destructive way like voting. Voting, when you take that tongue is so powerful, you realize how powerful it is. You use it to cuss, you use it to fuss, you use it to eat, you use it to lie. So let's not use it to tell the truth on what we want for us, because you are our 21st century. Amen. You is what we working for right now. Me personally, I'm cool with my life. But God ain't got me struck like that. You know, a lot is called, but a few is chosen. I'm a chosen. Because what I do, anybody can't go out and do. And where I get it down, anybody can't go out and get it down. Because all the gangs I know, they locked up a dead. And I dealt with a lot of them. A lot. So today, just take this advice that's coming from this panel today as information. Information is powerful. Words is powerful. Tongue is powerful. Brain, powerful word. Is that a word?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure. All right? And I just want to thank you for being here today. God bless you. And may the wisdom of the maturity come into you today. Amen.
Thank you, Mr. Peters. Next we have release to union, Ms. Wilson.
Good afternoon. Okay, shake that off. My name is Marginette Wilson. I am the co-founder and executive director of Release to Reunion. That's an organization created to assist single parents in transition as a result of homelessness, drug addiction, incarceration, and victims of domestic violence to become reunited with their children. I'm here to talk to you about youth parenting. I'm not an expert, I'm a parent. What comes from being a parent, most importantly, is love. I'm sure that many of you have heard the saying, it takes a village to raise a child. It really does take a village to raise a child. Let me share with you a story. When I was about 13, my father, we had us on a schedule. We had to get home from school by a certain time. And there were these group of girls that used to bully us. We'd be running across the bridge because we went to the school that was the farthest. And one day the girl stopped me and she said, "The baddest one knocked this dirt out of my hand." And I was tired of running. So I knocked the dirt into the girl's hand, into the girl's face. And the two of us were fighting right in the middle of this lady's rose bed. And by the time the fight was over, I was 30 minutes late from being home. So my father would call every day, and he talked to every one of us. There were 13 of us. He would talk to every one of us to make sure we were all in the house. Well, by the time I got my story together, and got home. As I made it home, the last lady was the old lady that sat across the street on the porch. My father knew when he put everybody on the phone, talked to everybody, he already heard the story. 3 or 4 times. They said I didn't get home. As a matter of fact, the ladies whose rose bushes I was fighting on knew my father. So I get my story together and I'm prepared. Yes, I'm prepared to tell a lie. My father would not give me that opportunity. When it was all said and done, he walked and took me over to the lady's house. I apologized. I had to apologize for tearing up her rose bushes, and she got my $5 allowance for a whole month. $5 a week was what we got. When I got to school the next day, my father showed up and told my homeroom class teacher I had to stand up and apologize to that young lady that I had that fight with. It takes a village to raise a child. And as a mother who loves her children dearly, I can say to you that when they're children, we tell them what to do. We teach them how to walk. We teach them how to go to the bathroom. But as they get older, they determine the heart. They start having thoughts of their own, feeling things of their own. And it's at that point in time that we as a parent have to become their best friend. We need to know at all times what's in the heart. What makes you cry? What makes you laugh? Why do you hurt? Who are your friends? By staying on top of that, we become a part of the most critical time in their lives. We have to learn as parents not to be in control, but to help regulate those thoughts in their mind. Because in today's society, we have to hold on to the fact that biblical principles are what has sustained African Americans since the beginning of time. We have to hold on to the fact that it says in the Bible, thou shalt not kill. It says honor your mother and your father. Those principles are what it takes to raise a child. And I say to each parent, and I say to each child, your parents love you. And there is no book written of how to raise a child. But know that what they say to you, they say it out of love. What they do because they love you. And every parent in this room, I know, wants more for their child than what they have themselves. So this is to the parent and to the child. It takes a village to raise a child.
Thank you, Ms. Wilson. A Titus Management Corporation, Mr. Chapman.
First of all, I want to thank Ms. Rita for putting on this event. Let's give her a round of applause. Also, I'd like to thank St. Philip's for allowing her to host this event for us. The young men, guys, I'm very excited just to walk in the door and see you guys at the table with your servanthood. That's where leadership begins, guys. My name is Scott. I'm with the Titus Man organization. We assist in growth and development of youth males, as Mr. Hall is doing as well. And it's a lot of different organizations out here, but there are very few that are actually putting in the work and doing the groundwork, which is being hands-on with these young men. We started back in '94, began the organization, working with different church organizations, community development things. A lot of the things that we do are directly connected and communicated with the communities. We do gardening and gardening events, different things to show the young men how to plant and grow their own food fruits and vegetables. We also do mentoring programs. We're basically out of the Gwinnett and DeKalb County area. So speaking on Tashin's information in reference to gangs that are involved, Gwinnett County is definitely the hardest area in reference to that. And so what we try to do is, again, be hands-on with these guys, give them an opportunity to not only be involved, but express themselves. Because it's important for them to speak out and say the things that they feel on the inside. So we do group sessions. The main focus, again, is building for the betterment of our communities, as well as the young men that we work with. If you guys have any questions or anything after the event, please feel free to stop by and see me. And before I leave you, I want to leave you guys with a little quote, so you can carry this with you in your mind thought. By Benjamin he made. Tell me and I forget. Teach me and I remember. Involve me and I learn. So guys, just keep that in mind. The more you get involved in things that you're actively doing, the more that you're going to remember and you're going to keep and you're going to learn from that. All right? Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Mr. Chapman. Next, we'll have Ms. Shalitra J. Lawrence from Second Chance Research and Development Center.
Thank you. As he said, I am Shalitra Johnson Horns, and I'm with Second Chance Resource and Development Center. I'm the executive director there. I am also a certified alcohol and drug abuse counselor. Today I want to share with you a little insight on drug addiction, substance abuse, and the effects that it has on the community and our budget as a whole. I am short on it. You just said I'm short. I'll make it work. The connection between drug abuse and crime is well known. The connection between drug abuse and crime is well known. Drug abuse is implicated in at least 3 types of drug-related offenses. Offenses defined by drug possession or sales. Offenses directly related to drug abuse, the selling of drugs. Offenses related to lifestyle that predisposes the drug abuser to engage in illegal activity. The estimated cost of drug abuse in the United States of America, such as illegal drugs, alcohol, and tobacco, is more than $700 billion a year. Substance abuse in the United States costs society an increase in health care costs, crime, and lost productivity. Estimated amount for the tobacco is $289 billion a year. Alcohol abuse, we spend $223 billion a year. Illegal drug abuse, we spend an estimated $193 billion a year. The total cost to society for substance abuse goes beyond the financial costs. Other costs includes the spread of HIV, AIDS, hepatitis, death from overdose, the effects of unborn children, crime, unemployment, domestic abuse, divorce, and homelessness. America has only 5% population of the world, but we have 25% of incarcerated people throughout the world. In the early 70s, there were only 250,000 people incarcerated. Today in the United States, there's 2,400,000 people that are incarcerated. That's an overall 800% increase. The average cost of housing an inmate today is between $20,000 to $30,000 a year. For every 2 white Americans incarcerated, 11 black Americans are incarcerated. Prison sentences of black men today were nearly 20% longer than those of white men for similar crimes in the recent years. If incarceration rates continue to grow at the pace that they're growing, 1 of every 3 black American males born today can expect to go to prison in his or her lifetime, as can 1 of every 6 Latino males and 1 of every 17 white males. Nearly 6 million Americans are barred from voting, for committing a felony, including 2,200,000 African Americans. Untreated substance abuse adds significant costs to our communities. Successful drug abuse treatment in the criminal justice system can help reduce crime as well as the spread of infectious diseases. I wouldn't be here today if I wasn't a part of that community. About 12 years ago, I was in prison. I was in prison for almost 3 years. And with that experience alone is the reason that I'm here. If I would have never went to prison, I wouldn't be speaking before you today, nor would I be an ordained minister or a substance abuse counselor. I probably wouldn't be teaching and educating. But for such a time as this, here I am. I enjoy what I do. We provide resources for ex-offenders at my facility over in College Park, job readiness, life skills, coaching, mentoring. We have a job readiness workshop every Monday. We have a clothing closet. We partnered with a couple of local agencies. We just implemented Second Chance Staffing. We'll be launching April 1st. Our website and everything will be at www.secondchancestaffing.com, where we have partnered with Taco Bell. We partnered with Mr. Clean Car Wash. We partnered with, matter of fact, Coca-Cola sent us over an email just last week, and they asked us to send a business proposal because they too want to get involved with our returning citizens that are coming home. It's imperative that we educate, equip, and empower the people who are coming home. Thank you.